The local town drunk that became a hero, William King Solomon. Hey everybody, this is Russ from Family Tree Nuts, and I'm in Lexington Cemetery in Lexington, Kentucky. And I'm at the graveside of a very unique character that many don't know about. William Solomon was born in 1775 in the same area of Virginia as Henry Clay. William often used to tell people that him and Henry Clay played together as boys. And he was known to be a staunch supporter of Henry Clay. Of course, what he was known for is he was a staunch supporter of whiskey too. And it's said that one time an opponent of Henry Clay offered William a drink if he would vote for him. William replied, "You may be foolish enough to try to bribe me, but I'm not foolish enough to vote for you." It is said that William was a man of many enterprises. He could have been very successful in his life, but for one reason or another, he had a love for libations. And due to his drunkenness, that forced him to do a lot of the undesirable jobs in the town. He dug ditches, he dug cisterns, he filled potholes in the road, anything he could do while he was drinking. When someone was asked about his appearance, they replied that he always wore the same old dusty hat, baggy pants, and his face was round and as wrinkled as his clothes. Sort of put you in mind of Otis from Mayberry. When asked about his personality, it was said that he was very friendly and helpful and had a love for the whiskey. One time, a local dry goods store hired William to trim up some branches outside around the store. After a very short time, William realized that it was time for a drink break, and William's drinks are a whole lot different than other people's drinks. William climbed back into the tree, climbed out to the end of the branch that he was trimming. A crowd had gathered around by this point, and of course, William sawed the branch until he fell all the way down on the ground. One of the bystanders said, "Surely only a man with the wisdom of King Solomon of the Bible could pull off a stunt like that." And the nickname stuck. From now on, he was known as King Solomon. In 1833, he was drunk in public too many times, and he was arrested and actually sentenced to be auctioned off as a servant for 9 months. It is said that 2 Transylvania University medical students bid on him because they thought that he was near death and they would soon be able to use him as a cadaver. Ironically, his service was purchased by a lady named Charlotte, a free black woman in the community. It is said that she purchased his service for 13 cents, 50 cents, $13. There's many stories, but what the real story is here is in 1833, a free black woman purchasing the service of a white man in the South. Charlotte earned her living by making baked goods, and she sold them to the townspeople. She used William to deliver the baked goods, which was definitely something he could do and keep up his drinking. It's said that the two were very fond of each other and the situation worked out great. Unfortunately, also in 1833, there was the cholera epidemic that came from Asia, and it was spread by fecal matter and unclean water. Anybody that could afford to fled the town and moved out into the country. The cholera was so bad, several of the town's doctors passed away, and it's estimated that 500 of the town's 6,000 people at the time actually died. Now, this is where King Solomon became a hero. Every day, King Solomon pushed a cart around the town and gathered up the people that had passed away. He buried many of them in the old Episcopal Cemetery on 3rd Street. The reason why this was so heroic is that so many people were sick and they could not take care of their family members that had passed away. And having more uncleanliness around the town caused the disease to worsen. King Solomon, burying so many of the dead, likely saved a ton of lives in Lexington. Now, why didn't King Solomon get cholera? Well, cholera is spread by unclean water, and King Solomon did not drink water. Some thought that he was so full of whiskey that it would kill off any illness. Now, many people know the heroics about King Solomon and his burial of the people, but many often don't know about the 2 helpers that he had. One of his helpers was Reverend London Farrell, a free black minister in Lexington, and the other helper was a local Transylvania University grad, a young Lieutenant Jefferson Davis. Yes, that's the same Jefferson Davis that eventually became the President of the Confederate States of America. How about that? William lived on another 21 years and was a very helpful and happy person in the community. It is said about his funeral in the diary of Reverend William M. Pratt, preached a funeral today of old King Solomon, 79 years old. He was born in the same year with Henry Clay and had drunk whiskey enough to float a man of war. He was once a person of considerable enterprise and business, but he had been given to the drink a great many years, and yet was inoffensive and of great integrity. Quite a number of citizens attended his funeral, and he had a good coffin worth $30. Some 17 carriages proceeded to the cemetery. In 1908, this monument was built here for William King Solomon. So, this is a quite unusual story, someone that doesn't have a tremendous amount of fame except for the local community, but it's definitely one that we need to preserve. William King Solomon, the town drunk that became a hero. And remember, family tree nuts, let our nuts find the nuts in your family tree. Like what you see? Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click the little bell so you get notifications as to when we post new videos. And you can find out more about us and contact us at familytreenuts.org.